Welcome to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Coming up on today's news, the city of Cleveland is looking for new lifeguards. Old Brooklyn's Harmony Park is about to get some renovations and improvements. Then some EMS cadets graduated and others were honored at a recent celebration. And later, we celebrate the 35th anniversary of Senior Day. But first, gathered around the table in the Red Room of Cleveland City Hall, Mayor Justin Bibb and Police Chief Dorothy Todd held a press conference to address summer safety.
There's a small portion of our city that's responsible for a majority of violent crime. And so we've identified those hot spots, and we're going to be doing neighborhood walks in those hot spots. We'll have targeted law enforcement in those hot spots, but we'll also have every department at City Hall playing a role to address issues, quality of life issues in those hot spots. So everything from building and housing, beefing up code inspections, to public works, installing speed tables in those hot spots and fixing potholes and making sure we're mowing vacant lots and getting rid of illegal dumping sites, to targeted traffic enforcement details in those hot spots.
Chief Todd noted that their efforts last summer resulted in a decrease in violent crime.
So we are working from that, and we're continuing on the plan that we had from last year. We're keeping our partnerships with the State Highway Patrol for our traffic initiatives, our partnerships with the FBI, DEA, U.S. Marshals, and all our other state and local partners. We find that these are productive and they are felt in the streets.
The city of Cleveland is looking for responsible and motivated young people to step up as lifeguards this season. It's a great way to earn money, build skills, and make a difference in your community. Let's head over to Estabrook for more information.
So today we are doing our lifeguard training course for the city of Cleveland to try and get the youth and anybody who's able to participate certified for lifeguard for the summer season. They are going to work at one of our city of Cleveland facilities, whether that be an indoor rec center, pool, or an outdoor pool. And so they will be completely certified and prepared for that position. This position is offered to anybody who is lifeguard certified. So even if you took a lifeguard certification class outside of the city, we will be able to accept that application and get you applied or get you put into a position within the city. So for any youth that lives in the city of Cleveland and is in high school, they are able to take the class free of charge and are actually getting paid to do the class afterwards, and then they get a job after the training for the summer. So for any information, we are currently running classes at Alexander Hamilton Recreation Center and here at Estabrook Recreation Center. So you can either call those rec centers or you can reach out to downtown at 216-664-2570.
Make this summer one to remember. Become a lifeguard and help keep Cleveland's pools and beaches safe. Call 216-664-2570 today for more info and start your journey to an exciting summer job. Well, a rainy, gray day didn't stop people from coming to Harmony Park, located in Cleveland's Old Brooklyn neighborhood, to learn about upcoming improvements and renovations to the site. People showed up, crammed inside a little tent to hear about updates to their beloved park. The rain, however, did little to deter the area children from having a little fun as they enjoyed playing in the giant puddles as Ward 12 Councilwoman Rebecca Maurer laid out the plans for the park.
What we're going to go through over the next few minutes are a series of layered interventions that we are working on for Harmony Park. So getting a full renovation for any park in the city of Cleveland, it takes a long time to get there. And what we're doing is we're layering in quick improvements that we all can see in the next year, hopefully this summer into the fall, with what we're calling a down payment on a full park renovation.
Improvements include the restoration of the Treadway Creek Trail, improvements to the tennis court by Tennis Center nonprofit group Changeover, and the restoration of the headstone honoring former Councilman Richard Harmony.
I did get a chance to take a look at the stone. It looks beautiful. So great job on that. My sister drove by it maybe 3 months or so ago and found it was in disrepair. Got in touch with Councilwoman Maurer, and bing, bang, boom, here we are. It's all fixed up. It looks great. It looks like it did some 30 years ago, if you could believe that, when it was first dedicated.
You can watch the entire press conference on our TV20 Cleveland YouTube page. In a supersized ceremony, the Cleveland Division of EMS saw 4 cadets graduate to the rank of paramedic, a new commander sworn in, and 9 of their own win meritorious service and lifesaver awards. First, Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb administered the oath of office to the 4 cadets and then offered up these words to them.
Public service is an honorable, noble profession. It requires a lot of sacrifice, it requires a lot of courage, and it requires a lot of bravery. And I know that firsthand as a son of a first responder. My dad served as a paramedic and a cop and a firefighter for nearly 35 years. And so I want to welcome our graduates today to join this very, very special family.
After the new paramedics received their certificates of completion, Commander Jonathan Wurstler was sworn in.
And will discharge the duties of Commander
and will discharge the duties of Commander
of Emergency Medical Service
of Emergency Medical Service
with professionalism and character
with professionalism and character
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
providing quality care
to all those in need,
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
To cap off the ceremony, 8 paramedics and an EMD received special recognitions.
For the life that they saved on September 17th, 2024, the Lifesaver Award is presented to Paramedic Cardinal and Paramedic Vassiat.
Remember, you can watch the full graduation and awards ceremony right here on TV20 or on our TV20 Cleveland YouTube page. I recently sat down with William Marion of the LGBT Community Center of Greater Cleveland to learn about the upcoming Pride in the CLE. It's just about June, and that means we're going to be celebrating Pride in the CLE. And to talk more about that is William Marion, Director of Development for the LGBT Community Center of Greater Cleveland. Welcome, William. Thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
First of all, tell me about the center and your role within it.
So the center is one of the oldest LGBT centers in the United States. We've been around since 1975, actually. A lot of people don't realize that. I am the director of development, so it is my job to basically spearhead, the fundraising operations for the organization, so that we can put on and provide the services to the greater LGBT plus community in Northeast Ohio.
Well, let me wish you happy 50th anniversary. I just turned 50, so I understand 50 is a big milestone.
It is a huge milestone. Yeah, it's our 50th. It's our birthday, and we will be celebrating it all year long. We just turned 50 on May 8th, so it feels very fresh to us. And then it's also our 10th anniversary of Pride in the CLE. Now, Pride festivals have been going on a lot longer than 10 years, but this is the 10th year that the center will have been putting on Pride in the CLE.
Well, talk about Pride in the CLE. How has that grown in the past 10 years?
It's grown exponentially from a last-minute sort of put together festival, because the first year they did it, we took over. I guess Cleveland Pride had stopped putting on Cleveland Pride, and so our executive director, Phyllis Harris, went to the staff at that time and said, hey, can we put together a Pride in 2 weeks? And they said, yes.
All right.
And they managed to put that together. The numbers that were there that first year were very light, obviously, with 2 weeks. Last year, we grew to 25,000 people, which was an increase of 7,000 from the year before.
Wow.
So we're thrilled with that turnout. That's 25,000 attendees, and then we have roughly about 12,000 that show up for the march.
Okay. So 2025, what can people expect for Pride in the CLE through this month?
So consistent with previous Prides that we've put on, people can expect a family-friendly atmosphere. They can expect a march that starts off at 11, and I say march, it's not a parade. A lot of Prides do throw parades, but we still throw a march, keeping with the intentions of the original marches for LGBT rights dating back to the 1970s, going all the way back to Stonewall. And so while it's a celebration, at the same time we are there to have our voices be heard and to give people the opportunity to be accepted, to be in a comfortable, safe environment, but to celebrate themselves, while at the same time making it known that we still have work to do, and clearly given today's political climate, there's a lot of work to be done.
Sure.
Talk
about any other events going on besides that?
So the march kicks off at 11.
And what day is the march?
The entire festival is on June 7th.
June 7th.
Yes. So, and that'll kick off at 11 from Public Square. And then it ends up marching through downtown. It's about a 1.5 mile route, coming down Lakeside Avenue, ultimately to the entrance of Malls B and C. And there we have our main stage, where our main stage program will begin on Mall C at 12:30. And that is where we have performers, we have elected officials, that lasts throughout the entire day. Lots of different types of entertainers that are there. We keep that local, we keep it regional, unlike a lot of other prides that sort of go very big and national intentionally. We keep ours supporting Cleveland and supporting Northeast Ohio, which is something that's important to us. But also we keep it free and open to the public, so there's no charge for anyone to go. And if we went the other route, then we would become a ticketed event, which is not something that we've wanted to do so far. On Mall B, we also have our speak out stage. So we have our main stage, which is on Mall C. We'll have our speak out stage, which is on Mall B. That's more leaning to the traditions of original Pride. It gives an opportunity for public access for people to speak out, literally, to come and let their voices be heard. But at the same time, we end that with a dance party. So it's not all seriousness or anything of that nature. It's a lot of fun. Great food trucks. We have a slew of those that are from Northeast Ohio. We have our family, friends, and fun zone, which will also be in Mall B. Which is we'll have activities for kids. There'll be face painting. We have aerial performers coming out, temporary tattoo artists, things of that nature. We have our health and wellness zone, which is where we'll be focused on providing either care or not care, but access to resources and information for people's individual personal health. While we're there, we will also have mobile testing units that will be there in place if anyone wants to take advantage of that. Then back on Mall C, we have Artisan Alley, which is where we have over 100 artisans who are there to show off their wares and their crafts and hopefully sell some merchandise. Everything from T-shirts to homemade or specially made dog food and kits and banners and things of that nature. And then we also have our exhibitors who are there throughout Pride on both Malls B and C. Who are there to, again, give out information, let people know, let the community know about the resources that are available to them. We have a number of religious organizations from multiple different faiths that will be there who are supportive to the community. And just a lot of food, a lot of fun. We have been very fortunate, knock on this glass table, that we have only had sunshine on Pride these last 10 years. Yeah, so we are hoping that the weather that Cleveland's been seeing lately won't be present that day. Fingers crossed. We don't want
looking back to last year, how many people are you expecting?
We were hoping absolutely for that same number. I mean, to reach that benchmark of 25,000.
That's great.
It was an incredible benchmark for us. It wasn't necessarily a goal per se, but when we reached it, then obviously we don't want to be going backwards, and hope that that Cleveland shows its support again to our community like they did last year.
And if people want more information about your center, about everything else that's going on, where can they go?
They should go to our website. That's www.lgbtcleveland.org. That'll have all the information. You can click on the Pride in the Cle tab that is there. There are other tabs there too about other events and other activities that are going on at the center, because Pride isn't just a day. It's not even actually just a month, although here we pretty much celebrated in the month of June. But then it goes, Pride festivities happen all over Ohio and all over the country throughout the summer into the fall.
Yep, and your website's up 24/7, 365.
Our website, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. William, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks. We'll be back with more TV20 News right after this.
This summer, the Cultural Arts team is offering a variety of programs throughout the city of Cleveland, including ceramics, painting, theater, cooking, and more. With a variety of youth and adult classes, there's something for everyone. All the instruction and basic materials are provided free of charge. For a full list of offerings, visit us online or call Cadell Fine Arts at 216-664-4103 for more information. Registration opens Tuesday, May 6th, with programs starting June 2nd. Look forward to seeing you this summer.
Welcome back to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. I recently sat down with Jennifer Kipp of Cleveland's Department of Urban Forestry to learn about how they can assist you if you have nasty invasive insects like yellow jackets and wasps. All right, so it's springtime, the grass is green, the trees are green. That's beautiful and all, but it also opens up the door to insects, bees, other kind of creepy, crawly things. So we're going to talk about that today. My guest is Jennifer Kipp, Manager of Urban Forestry. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, tell me about urban forestry and then your role within that.
Sure thing, yes. So we are the Division of Urban Forestry, which we are primarily responsible for roughly 90,000 street trees, plus trees in parks, cemeteries, and on other city property. So we have crews that go out every day and they trim the trees or remove the trees if they're dead, or hazardous. We also have stump grinding program, and tree planting program.
Okay.
So it's pretty comprehensive.
Very comprehensive indeed. So today we're talking about invasive pests. What are we talking about here? Like maybe hives of bees or things like that in your trees?
Yeah, so invasive, so we're talking like more broadly about invasive and non-invasive. So like our bees would be non-invasive, right? A spotted lanternfly, invasive, right? It didn't come, it's not native to America. But, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You're gonna ask a question. So yeah, so we treat for, let me take a step back. A lot of times there will be hornet nests. We see those a lot, the bald-faced hornets, and those are very aggressive stinging insects. And those we find we get calls, usually, August, September is when those hives really get active and, grow to a size where they're very visible to residents. So we'll get a call to come out and take a look, and our forester is going to evaluate, can we treat the nest with an insecticide while safely, keeping 2 feet on the ground, and also being able to protect themselves from any kind of, after spray or, those kinds of things that come down.
In other words, if the nest is way up high, that's not safe at all, right? Because they have nowhere to go if they're on a cherry picker or something like that and they get stung.
That's exactly right. And especially because those hornets and also wasps are very aggressive, that they would really be putting themselves in harm's way if they were in an elevated position to spray a nest.
So if I have a nest that's almost close to ground level, easy to access, what would the gentleman or the lady from Urban Forestry do? How would they come out and take care of that?
So they would call 311. The resident would call 311. And then that initiates a service request for an insect problem in a tree, which then we intercept in the Division of Urban Forestry. And then it goes to, it's assigned to a forester based on what ward it's in. So we have 5 foresters that cover the whole city. They'll go out and they'll do exactly that. They'll locate the nest in the tree. How high up is it? Can they safely remove it or spray it or both? And they will. And usually they may not spray it that same day because the nests are less active in the morning.
Okay.
So they may wait until the following morning, go out there maybe 7:30 a.m. when it's a little quiet in the nest, and then spray the nest. They don't always remove the nest. Though,
that was
after
my
it's
next
sprayed.
question. What happens to the dead nest after that?
So if they can clip it out of the tree, they will. But again, we want to make sure that they're safe and not exposed to the chemical. If not, it will stay in the tree and it will just degrade over time with the elements. So
it sounds like a lot of questions need to be answered before proceeding to go after a nest.
Exactly.
What if I don't have a bee nest, but what if I have a carpenter ant problem? Is there something that can be happening with urban forestry? Can help with that?
So we do not treat for carpenter ants, but what we will do is if there are carpenter ants in a tree-lawn tree or you see a lot of activity, then that's going to signal for us a problem with the tree, because the carpenter ants are going to kind of attack a weakened or stressed tree. So then we want to know what's going on with that tree and put it on our radar to see if it needs to be removed, like how much of a hollow or opening, are the carpenter ants kind of building their nest in. So we have to do an assessment of that tree. But again, carpenter ants, we don't treat. They're kind of like, once they make their home in that tree, they pretty much stay there as long as the conditions are conducive to the colony. But we don't get many calls, thankfully, about carpenter ants.
That's good. You know, let's look on the other side of these invasive species. The spotted lanternflies, I see them all over. What do we do really when we see one? Are we supposed to kill them? Are we
What do
supposed to
I do?
report them, or-
I'm like, oh. I try to squash them, yeah. So that's always been like the guidance from the Ohio Department of Agriculture is to squash them. But, you know, we know they're hard to squash because they jump. They see, you know, they'll jump away, and they're not great flyers. They're more like hoppers. But that is continuing to be the guidance, is to, if you see them, squash them. Now, we do get calls sometimes where a resident has a tree in their backyard that has thousands on them. You know, and it's like the trunk looks like it's moving because there's so many. And it's like such a creepy factor, right? Because for that resident, they could take a hose and spray them off, but it's impossible to squash thousands and thousands on the tree. And we know which trees they favor, right? Their palette could change over time. That's why we need to monitor them in our forest. Because right now they love an invasive tree, the tree of heaven. So it's kind of a little bit of an advantage for us because they're not going after our native species yet, but we need to keep an eye on them.
Got to keep an eye on them when the fight continues.
Absolutely.
You know, Jennifer, thank you so much for being here. If people want more information on the Department of Urban Forestry, maybe they have questions, where can they go?
They can call me. My phone number is 216-664-2388, or send me an email, jkip@clevelandohio.gov.
All right. Well, after this segment, I'm just going to have the heebie-jeebies all day. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
It. To kick off National Public Works and Safety Week, the Division of Water Pollution Control opened up its doors to hold an open house for the students of nearby CMSD schools.
We're here at Kirby Avenue at Water Pollution Control's facility, and we're having an event here for National Public Work Weeks for the kids, to show the kids who we are, to show the kids what we do. We invited a bunch of other departments and safety people so that the kids can just enjoy and know exactly what we do as a city. Some of the things that are shown is Cleveland Water's here demonstrating what they do with their truck. We have Cleveland Public Power here demonstrating pole climbing. We have our trucks out here showing what we do in the main sewers as well as cammering. We have Metro Parks here demonstrating one of their trucks, and we have some street department trucks here showing what they do as well. We themed our event this year People, Purpose, Presence, because we believe that it takes people that have purpose to make their presence known in a community. So without those people, we can't continue on a legacy of maintaining our city. There's kids that don't necessarily know what they want to do in life. There's kids that won't go to college. We want to show that there's opportunities for careers other than going to college and doing what seems to be natural. You know, and I'm a product of that. I'm a guy that doesn't have any college education, but I started working for the city, and I've grown throughout this position here in the city, and I made a career out of it. And so there's opportunities for careers within the city of Cleveland. We care about them and the different infrastructures that are here in the city. We care about how we maintain them. We care about their quality of life. We care about the water they drink. We care about disposing of the sewer that comes out of their homes. We care about giving them the best quality of life possible.
Stay tuned. TV20 News will be right back. Welcome back to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Celebrating its 35th year, a senior day returned once again to Cleveland's public auditorium.
Well, this is one of my favorite days as mayor, celebrating our amazing seniors. Give yourselves a big round of applause. You serve our city and our street clubs, our schools, our places of worship. You are the backbone of our city, and you represent the great values that make Cleveland an amazing community. We also got to shout out Director Mary McNamara for our 35th anniversary for Senior Day in the city of Cleveland. One of the best leaders we have at City Hall.
And I am here today on behalf of Council President Blaine Griffin, who sends his regards. On behalf of all 17 council members who are here with us today that work every single day in each neighborhood across the city, we want to welcome you here today. And while there are many special occasions throughout the year, I can speak confidently for my friends and colleagues that this is our favorite day of the year. So we want to honor today 17 extraordinary Cleveland community members who are in front of you every day, but we know that each and every one of you contribute to this city and love Cleveland. So we say thank you, we love you, and have a great day today.
Each year, in addition to honoring outstanding senior nominees from every award, the City of Cleveland proudly recognizes organizations that play a vital role in advancing our age-friendly Cleveland efforts. These agencies and groups work hand in hand with our older residents, ensuring that Cleveland remains a place where seniors can thrive, where they can feel connected, supported, and empowered. This year, we are honored to present the Age Friendly Champion Award to 3 outstanding recipients whose dedication and service have made a lasting impact.
Proof again that you're never too old to have some fun. Congratulations to all the awardees, and we'll see you at the next Senior Day. Finally, the students of CMSC's Halley School got to put their engineering skills to the test with a little help from Cleveland Public Power.
We're here at Halley, right now, the School of Inquiry, and this was our annual egg drop. For my 7th and 8th graders only. The 6th graders get to watch. This is what our project-based learning that I do at the end of every year, so the kids get to practice their engineering and design skills. Precursor to what they would do when they get to physics, those that will make it on that path. There are no restrictions, no rules. Anything they can do goes, any creativity, anything they can get their hands on. And luckily, Cleveland Public Power works with us and comes out and drops their creations from the bucket truck. And I think we only had 2 eggs break this year. The rest of them, their creativity and their research worked, and their engineering and designs were fantastic. They protected their eggs.
I think it's a great opportunity for Cleveland Public Power to show how committed we are to our community. It also gives us an opportunity to talk with the teachers and support the efforts that they're doing, particularly when it comes to science, technology, engineering, and math. This event actually shows how fun and exciting the STEM world can be, and that's the whole key of everything that we're trying to instill in our students, is that science, technology, engineering, math can have a creative bent to it, and it also can be a lot of fun.
Congrats to all the students whose designs made it. What an excellent opportunity. You know, we are constantly uploading new content on our TV20 Cleveland YouTube page, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. You can also connect with TV20 Cleveland on your favorite social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and X. Thanks for watching TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Be sure to stay tuned for more on TV20. We are Cleveland.